It's time to say goodbye. It's too late to say goodbye to Songtember 2021. And we're going to kick it off in style here in the later time slot, the Creator Town Halls time slot. Why? Because as much as I love our friends in the US and Canada, our folks in the UK and Europe and Scotland and Ireland and all the cool places and Australia, of course, where I'm from, we don't get the opportunity to chat very often. I know many of you don't get the chance to catch us live, and there's another person that you don't get a chance to catch live, and I've decided that I'm not going to go it alone here because someone else who's contributed and participated in Songtember is Blank Room. Oh no, it's Jade Star.
Hi everybody.
Jade
Hi Pete.
Star. How are you? Are you doing well?
I'm well, thank you. Well, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Happy end of Songtember. Are you glad to see the tail end of this? Can we swear to? I'll give us one shit each tonight. So are you happy to see the end of this shit show that was Songtember?
Yes, so happy it's over.
Oh, it's been a great month, but every time it's like the I don't know what you'd compare it to, like the Royal Show. Like, did you ever go to the Royal Show? What do you have in Melbourne or Sydney?
Melbourne
The
Royal
Sydney,
Show.
the Easter Melbourne show, the Easter show, whatever you have there. You'd always look forward to it. The anticipation was great, and then you'd go there, and then it was always good, but you'd always come home at the end of the night, and you'd feel like really just shafted at the end of the time. So that's kind of how Songtember treats me. What do you reckon?
Unless you got the Birdie Beetle show bag, everything was good because the Birdie Beetle show bag was always good value. It was $2, and you got Freddo frogs.
Birdie Beetle.
You got Birdie Beetles,
Oh,
and it was $2 well spent.
The weird thing is that the Birdie Beetle show bag, my children actually got one because they're not doing the Royal Show this year. And I know we're going way off track, but that's how it's going to be, people.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to strap in. They're not doing the Royal Shows in Australia because we're the C word. We've had lots of L words. And so they're actually selling the show bags at supermarkets. So my kids went to their nana's house, and she's just like, here, and they're like, Birdie Beetle show bags, and I'm like, all right, I'll be having a Birdie Beetle from yours, and I'll be having a Birdie Beetle from yours, because they don't sell Birdie Beetles anywhere except show bags. And if you've never enjoyed the joy that is a Birdie Beetle, it's like 12 Songtembers. It's like a year's worth of Songtembers of deliciousness. That's the way I look at it.
Is. All the chemist show bag as my nanny used to get, with all the samples of Band-Aids and stuff for $50. Way off track.
There's some rough stuff. Hello to all the folks who are here live. We do appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Hello to Joe Glenn. We've got an SM Borthwick here. Gregory O'Sullivan is here. Ashley HM. Lots of folks who've Alex Backus, a lot of folks who've participated in Songtember, and we'd like you to. The first thing I want to do out here is, if you can sum up your Songtember experience in 3 words, put those here in the chat. If you're watching live, put those in the chat. And if you're watching on the replay, there's your Birdie Beetle. That's the Birdie Beetle show bag right there. If you're watching on the replay, what I want you to do is leave a comment on this video. Firstly, about how much you love Birdie Beetles, but secondly, about Songtember. Just put Songtember equals, and then I want 3 words that were your personal Songtember experience. And I'll say good day to the rest of the folks here, and then I'm going to ask Jade Star the 3 words that sum up. And remember, even though I've already sworn, we're PG-13 here tonight. So let me know.
Yet.
I know you haven't. I started it off here. Who else? Everyone's saying good day to each other. So Bass Car Tech is here as well. John Liner, who he needs to put phonetic spelling after his name there because I always pronounce it wrong. Who else? Mimo Japan, who's one of the wonderful Mike at Creative Source, one of the great moderators from over there. Deep Gravity, hello to you, Cam. Benedict Stewart Music is here. Maffy's Garden up there in Queensland, live from 1989. Yeah, so Matt from Maffy's Garden said to me, "Oh, are you doing that show tonight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's at 9 p.m. Eastern time or 1989 in Queensland, because that's how you do the time conversion for folks in Queensland." Where's Peppy? Is Peppy here? We need Peppy.
Maffy would have said it more like, "Yeah, g'day. How you guys doing?" He's from Toowoomba, remember? You got to get the accent right. Sorry, Maffy.
You guys are just being rough now. So Jade, all right. So I like this. We've got our first ones. So we'll let some other folks talk first. So Ashley, who's was her first Songtember experience. So she's new to the world of Songtember. She said an awesome experience. So we like that. Let's start positive. Let's start with positivity there. John says last minute dash. I like that. That's very, very cool. Gregory O'Sullivan's in there. It took over. Now we'll talk about that. We'll talk about a little bit of a bit of mental health and self care and well being a bit later, because it's the time of the month where you got to just sort of relax and reflect on things. And Garzo Avon said frickin' or some, which I kind of like. I dig that. Jade Starr. As you suck in that vape, and look, I'm gonna join you tonight because I got the small beer tonight. I'm going with a small can of Peroni so that we can both be inappropriate. Right, we can both be inappropriate and be doing adult things here tonight. I'm going the small beer to get me through. Yeah. But what 3 words would you have to describe your Songtember experience?
Yay! It's over.
I like it. What would mine be? So mine is You Guys Rock is all I can really think, because I think this Songtember of any other, as you know, Jade, you've been around for 2 previous. And look, if you're watching this show, you probably already know what Songtember is, but we better explain for anyone brand new. Songtember is our Song in a Month challenge. We do it here on the channel every year. You've joined in over on your channel on How to App on iOS. We've got a bunch of other folks who've all joined in the fun. And in previous years, let it be said that I've had to kind of encourage and sort of push and motivate, and we've had, the first year we had maybe 20 people that participated. Last year we had 50. This year more than 100 people participated, and more than 70 people finished complete songs in the month of Songtember, which we showcased on the YML, the Your Music live show last week, which is pretty darn cool. So, yeah. I think You Guys Rock is what I'm going to say about that, because it's amazing the quality of music that was produced this year. And I know that you've played a bunch and listened to a bunch of the songs. You participate. How many people's songs did you have some sort of hand in this year, Jade, for Songtember? Through mastering, through playing drums, through just participating, singing on my song. What was your total body count?
I don't know exactly, but I'm guessing around 20.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I mastered a hell of a lot of songs, so that was all on the Patreon, so you didn't really see that. But patrons would see that, and a lot of songs that haven't even come out yet. So that was going on through Songtember as well. Like Russ has a whole new album coming out as well too. I don't know if I should have said that, but yeah, doing drums for you, doing drums for Joe. Doing my thing as well. It was hectic. It was crazy stuff, and this year I said I wasn't going to take on. I thought I was being clever, Pete. Last year I did Metheist. I did a 3-song EP, and I was like, that was difficult. But I used what I used last year, GarageBand, and then I moved the stuff over to Audio Pro. So I was using 2 doors, and it was quite complex. This year I thought, hey, FMC, 1-minute songs. I can do 7 of them. Nice and easy. All in GarageBand. Not a problem. 7 songs, as it turned out, was like, wow, I have to mix and master all of them. And oh my God, they've all got their own flavor. And
they do.
Some of those flavors were quite disgusting.
So, in fact, because we can't mention the name of your band, FMC, because I can... FMC, we're going to go with that. Yeah. But you did a 7-track grindcore EP, which is probably some adult situations and probably not safe for work. But if you jump over, just it's out on all platforms now, isn't it? If people just search it out, or go. The easiest way, in fact, is to go over to your channel. So if they go over to How to App on iOS, because you did or
just to my website.
Or to your website, jadestar.com.au.
Yes.
Remember the AU. If you don't remember the AU, you may never recover from it. But if you come over to here, this is Jade Stars. You got 1.74 thousand subscribers, Jade. Just quietly, you are sneaking up on that 2,000 really fast.
I know. We're there. We're getting there. The last 3 weeks have been really. Songtember's been really good. So
Well, you've done a lot of cool videos in Songtember. So many so that I haven't been able to catch up because the weird thing about Songtember is I've been doing like 4 or 5 hour days, which sound, I know people are like, oh my God, P, you have to work for 5 hours a day. But that's kind of like on top of all the other back office stuff because I've been doing a lot of 2 and 3 hour live streams and preparing and recording and all the rest of it. But including this one, which I wasn't even there for you when you create. I was rewatching this today.
For me, Pete.
I know. I was watching this live stream and I'm like, how horrible. You did a whole show where you were creating drums for my song. And did I rock up? Did I rock up and say hello even once? No, not at all. Oh, no, there I was. Hang on. I popped in halfway through and said, hello. Okay, I'm going back now. So, yes, I did. I don't feel so bad now because I did realize that I watched some of it.
You didn't pay attention, though.
I clearly didn't pay attention because I forgot that I was there. But look, I've liked the video, and that's the main thing because people should always go and like it. So that was got rid of you. So that was Songtember for us there. We'll see what some other folks had to say. So SM Borthwick, our buddy Scott over there now is Scott from Scotland. I keep forgetting that, and I want to say he's from in the UK somewhere. He's gonna massacre me because I always get confused between my Ireland and Wales and Scotland and England. Scott. And people are just like, oh my God, I can't believe you said I was from Scotland when I'm clearly from Ireland. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. People call me from New Zealand and English sometimes. But Scott says fun and frolics. So Scott, actually, we'll do a little bit of random showcasing here because Scott SM Borthwick.
I thought he would have said raping and pillaging. Arr!
Right, exactly. Because our man SM Borthwick, if you haven't checked this one out, you need to. We played it on the Songtember Your Music Live episode 68, but he did a pretty gosh darn cool video, and I'm trying to find it here. Here he is. So here is Scott. We'll turn up the volume here just for a moment so you can take a quick listen to this. But look at Scott and his pirate getup.
So clever.
So that is our man SM Borthwick. I have to turn that down so I can't hear it. So using the green screen. I don't know where he got all these props from, but I don't know. He could get his hand on like a quill and whatever the hell he's put it in there really quickly. So obviously over in Scotland they have access to all these sort of things. Yeah.
I'm thinking of asking Scott. I might as well do it here because I do the behind the song show.
Oh, there you go.
I wanted to do a behind the video. And have him come on and open up his LumaFusion project and show. So, Scott, I'm asking you right now in front of everybody. I think that'd be really interesting because it's a very clever clip. At first, I actually thought when I saw it, I was like, hang on a minute. Has he just put a green screen image of a table in front of him and then himself and then a green screen image behind him, because you can do that. And then he started picking stuff up and I was like, oh, clever.
Well, that's the thing, because and I honestly, it's like the magician never reveals his secret, but I thought the same thing. I thought the only things that were real here was Scott and the quill, because obviously he was holding that. And then he put the thing in the thing, and then he picks up the coins, and then he moves around. I'm like, oh my God, he's got all these props. This is insane. So,
technical terms, thing in the thing.
He put the thing in the thing. That's how he rolls. Alex Backus. I'm just moving on. I'm just like, I'm just going to let that
where I
sit
could
there.
go with that.
I do. Songtember, damn, I slept. But really, awesome community output. Well, Alex didn't sleep because Alex created a pretty cool tune too. We actually opened the Songtember show. So the Your Music Live Songtember edition here, the very first song that we played was Alex Backus. If we come back to here, let's have a quick listen to some of Alex Backus here from the Your Music Live Songtember edition show, shall we? Your feet on the dance floor. Get your feet from on the dance floor. Let's kick things off with a bit of a dancey dance, shall we? Alex Backus and a new high here on Your Music Live Songtember edition. Yeah, I'm doing the same dance. That's my only dance. Oh dear. And yeah, poor Jade's hearing like that reverberating because I'm terrible. I can't work out how to work this soundboard. So whenever music plays or things, then Jade just gets it all in double. But yeah, so that was Alex Backus, and he did the one with the beep that a lot of folks remember from last year. It was his first Songtember, and then he did that one. And Alex is kind of the opposite of you, Jade. You are a ridiculous. You make up in quality with the quantity of stuff you put out there, right? Whereas Alex just puts out like one or two songs every few months, and they're always high quality. Wait, did I just say that out loud?
No, I just put out garbage.
Just throw out 7 songs and go, something in there might be all right.
Yeah, whatever. Something in a sandwich, whatever. Yeah. Hey, hello, hippie. Hello, boom. I want to say.
Oh, boom. Hippie's up early. That's what time is it in Alaska, Hippie? Let us know. I'm way behind here, so I'm gonna go in here and because I'm behind the chat. But Joe said, stimulating, stressful, and encouraging. I like it. Wasn't that the title of your autobiography from a few years ago? Stimulating, stressful, and encouraging. No, what? This is just
my
on.
Next one. Yeah. Hey, what's with the jokes?
I know.
Peppy. Where are you, Peppy?
Where's Peppy? There you go. Peppy's in the house. Deep Gravity said, no, not again. You've got 11 months to recover, Cam. You'll be all right. You'll be fine. Songtember, awesome. Challenge, enjoyed. Good stuff. I like that. Challenge, enjoyed. And that's the thing. I know we're having a bit of fun here and we're joking around, but we'll get not serious because no chance of that. But we will talk about the whole experience and the creating, recording, releasing. But that's the main thing. Like a lot of people sort of made comments halfway through going, oh no, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to do it. And it's like, it's cool. Like it's not, it shouldn't add stress to your life. It should be fun. And I think hopefully if again, we've always said this, but if the negatives outweigh the positives, if the downsides outweigh the upsides, then probably not something that you need to do. But I think for most people, I think that explains it well, that it's a challenge, but as long as you enjoy the challenge, then you're okay.
Alternatively, even if it is negative, I was thinking, I heard you say this the other day, that if it is stressing you out, there's worse things to be stressed out about.
That's a really good point.
Really. Like, I was thinking about it, because I just want to say this about Songtember. I say thank God it's over or whatever, but I really had a good time through it. And I do realize that I put myself under more stress than I need to be. Because I put a lot of expectations on myself. I think more so it was for me in the background what was going on in my world, which we spoke about tonight. Like I had house stuff going on when my flatmate had moved out and getting a new flatmate and all this other drama going on. That I think there was more of that stuff in the background that was putting the extra weight on my shoulders. So creating the music wasn't the thing. And doing everyone's drums and all that stuff, really, because I love doing it. And that's why I'm always like, hand up, hey, let me help. I love it. But it's the other stuff that you can't really talk about on the show. That's the stuff that weighs on you so much. So if that wasn't around, it would have been a much more enjoyable experience for me. But if this was a job where I had to go into work each day and do this, it would have sucked.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, and look, and the flip side of that, and it sounds like you may be saying this without saying it, but sometimes some of the Songtember stuff can be a good distraction from some of the reality. And I know many people said that to me throughout the month, is that, like there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the world at the moment. So, and different people are having different challenges. So just the ability to sit down and sit in your audio cave and like spend an hour or 2 hours just creating music and getting lost in that, even though it might get a bit stressful and a bit like sort of full on at some times, it can distract you from the other stuff, and you don't have to think about it for a while. Because I bet you when you're coming up with FMC lyrics, you're probably not thinking about some of the other stuff going on. So it can you're like, oh, okay, what do we put in the sandwich again? Okay, all right, cool. All right, we're done. We'll move on. So it can help. Maffy's Garden says so many versions, and this is one of the cool things. And we'll jump over because we're moving everywhere here tonight, but that's just the way it's going to roll. But we're going to talk about 3 things here, not surprisingly: create, record, release. We heard that before.
It's like a catchphrase.
Right? It's almost like warts. We all rise together because we all create, record, release. So our man Maffy over at Maffy's Garden did a song. And a lot of you folks, you basically whacked it out of the park because you not only did your song, but you did a video as well. And this song and video is one of the coolest. And I know, every time I say, "Oh, it's one of the coolest," they were all cool. Like the whole 70 plus songs we played last week in YML, and I even missed a few. I'm gonna have to catch up on some tomorrow morning in the next YML because I did miss some that didn't make it through, or that I think Brad Example was one. He sent it to me on the other form, and I was going through there, and it was weird. I was reading in the Brad voice because you got to read things in the Brad voice, and it was just like, "Pete, here's my Songtember song," and I'm just like, "Oh no." This is from 2 weeks ago, just before I said, "Here's the form." And I'm like, oh, God, Brad probably hates me now because I forgot to tell him to put it in the other form. So we'll play that tomorrow. But this is at Maffey's Garden. Let's take a quick listen to this one. This is Locked Out from our man, Maffey's Garden.
Hello? Anyone home? Vaccines, trampolines, everything you've ever seen. Coffee shops and restaurants, home you like it, take away. Bones, cold, rebel sport, it's okay, you can stay.
My favourite line of this whole song is Bunnings, Coles, Rebel Sport. That says everything you need to know about Matt. Just like, I'm going to buy a hammer, then some chicken nuggets, then a pair of sneakers.
Yeah,
then we're going to be
get it
fine.
right though. Hello. you can get me later, Maffey. All right.
Oh, no, we kid because we love, but no, I legitimately
awesome.
love that. And yeah, like, oh, by the way, the Gary Hubs, the property of Gary Hubs, if you missed this in the video, he did actually ask, this is what a nice guy that is, he asked Gary if he could use the clipboard as a meme in his video, which I thought
Very
was pretty
clever.
darn cool. Very, very well done. So yeah, so many versions. Well, however many versions you had, Matt, it came out pretty good in the end. Hello, Raka Bogus Pratama. Hope you're doing well. Deep Gravity says, I failed last year, so this year I was determined. Kids homeschooling, then I got the flu. At least it was only the regular flu then Cam. Everything was against me, but I got there, just not released. Well, that's cool. And that's the thing. A lot of people have said to me, oh, I just didn't quite get there. And it's like, well, you know what? If you got 75% of a song done and you're going to finish it this week, next week, the week after, you're still further along than you would have been if you did nothing. So go for it. Very full on, says Ashley. Absolutely. It is very full on. And yes, FMC is not safe for work. Oh, Scott has finally said yes, Scotland. So you'd think I'd remember that. So Scott's from Scotland and Patrick's from Patrickland. I'm going to remember that. Oh, God. It's getting really rough, isn't it?
It is.
Really rough.
Somebody smack him. Georgie, can you hear us? Come in there, smack him up. Smack him up the head.
She's putting the children to bed, so she's not around. Oh, God. Hippie says 2:15 a.m. and haven't slept in 2 days. Well, that's I'd give that a boom, but that's anti-boom. That's like you need to have some pills to make you boom and go to sleep. That's really rough, Jade. Help me out here. What's going on? What's wrong? What's wrong with the brain tonight? And I got to get up at 6.
Actually.
Oh, I got to get up at 6 tomorrow and do another show. I'm doing YML. Tune in for YML tomorrow, folks. It's going to be a doozy. If this is any indication.
Head bopping, finger pointing, Pete John's classic stuff.
Right, it's going to be a bit like that.
Pete John's head bob in the corner.
Yeah.
It'll be down the bottom this time, won't it? It'll be in the bottom corner.
Oh, well, bit of controversy around that. It won't be because I set it up for StreamYard, so I'm going to be on Stream. Yeah, next week will be on Restream, but
Right.
We'll talk about that later if we have time. But no one likes the picture-in-picture, Jade. I thought we'd settled on the picture-in-picture, but I asked the Create, Record, Release mob, and only one person said they preferred the picture-in-picture. Everyone else said they preferred the next to. Everyone else likes this business where we're next to it and it's over there. Yep. So I don't know. We'll have to experiment. Question: Did Jude send through your Songtember song? I thought one was terrific. No. So our man Maze End, Jude from the GarageBand Users Facebook group, he didn't send me a Songtember song. So I'm going to have to. That's a good point. I'm going to have to hit up Jude and ask him to send it through because he didn't. He did a song and it was very cool. I heard it on Ron's show the other night. I think Jude likes Ron better than me. So he shares his stuff with Ron, but not with me. Dave Fox, hello to you. Dragon Lady Music Experiences here. Dragon Lady did a Songtember song as well, so hello to you. Our buddy Case said, I had my Pascal Potential track, the hologram, mastered by a pro yesterday. Take that, Jade Star, in your mastering. And I attended the session too. Super interesting. Next step, releasing officially. No, it is interesting. Look, I would love to know more about what pros do in mastering because I don't know. I don't know what your take is on this, but
Well,
I don't.
let me tell you.
Yeah, let me know.
If you had sent me your song, I could have made that sound a lot better.
The
Sorry.
mastering was great. I'm just like, weedy, meaty, mighty, final touch.
I had to listen to it today, and I was like, geez, I reckon I could have made that sound a bit beefier.
Yeah. I know. You never have. I know. I've listened to it a bunch of times, and I'm just like, oh yeah, actually. But you know what? It's out there. It's done. You know what? What do they say? Perfection is the enemy of done.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to get.
And you were less conservative this year. Normally with your mastering, you're much more conservative.
Yes,
You really
it's
did
true.
go for it this
I
year.
pushed it, and I did drop it. You said to me the day before, "Oh, you just need to pull back a little bit," and I did actually. I
Yeah.
dropped it down an extra dB, which did make the difference. It was a bit of a sausage, and I gave it a little bit more room to breathe, and that really did help the middle section where it stops and goes down a little bit. So that was.
Can I say, I'm really glad you didn't take the snare out of the middle bit, because remember you said that to me. You're like, "Oh, I'm thinking of taking the snare out of the middle bit," and I was going, "Yeah, that'll work." And I'm thinking, "No, don't do that, please, don't do that."
I don't. Yeah, and I didn't even try it, to be honest. It was more laziness than it was respect for you. But it was. I did just go. I'm just.
man. Tonight.
What's going on?
We're just paying out on each other tonight. You enjoying this, folks? This is the Jade and Pete payout session.
Oi, it's like the. Well, I think
This
because
is
I've
like
been
when
on
we
your
hung
show.
out, man. This is like a real life hang.
It is. It is cool. It was like, was it with you that we were on the show with Mike when we did his show, and he finished the show and then he just pretended that it was off, and then we just started like yarning, and I'm like, yeah, this is more the show. This is what the show should be. Like, this is the real stuff. So yeah, apparently that's what we're doing here. Yeah, David John Lees is also in Scott, so I'll call you Scott now. Scott David John Lees. Get it wrong. Joe Glenn, it's the middle of the night. I know it's a weird time for a lot of you folks, so I hope you are. I hope you're doing well and grab some coffee because it's going to be a while. Dan Ekberg has got up in Chicago, so what would it be in Chi-Town? It'd be like, also about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I hope you are doing well. I think we've nearly caught up on the thing. We've got a question here. Did Darren Anderson do a song? Maybe I missed it. Yeah, so Darren Anderson did do a song, and I've got a nice still shot of Darren Anderson looking really interested in what Russ had to say in the original launch show. So this is Russ having a chat about his music experience. And that's Darren Anderson looking like he's absolutely enthralled. Then again, you and Tom kind of looked a little bit like you're drifting off there as well. I think Russ had been talking for about an hour at that point about his delicate giants. No, not true at all.
Barry's looking at.
Yeah, what were you looking at? Joe? It looked like they were Brady bunching. She's looking at the top of his head.
Up here, Joe. Pay attention, Joe.
It's just nodding off. Like,
Joe's gone to sleep.
But no, Darren Anderson did 100% do a song, and we actually played it. It was weird because in the YML show that we did, we forgot about it. Well, I don't know if Darren actually submitted. I still don't think he did. But we went and found it because if you didn't know, Matt and Darren Anderson. Probably revealing stuff they don't want me to say here now, but they are related in some form. There you go. We'll keep it mysterious. But Darren's song Venom was really, really cool. Should we take a quick listen to Venom here and give it a quick spin because it's awesome. It's old school rock and roll. So let's take a quick spin of this one. I'm going to take the mute off. See, look what you've created, Jade. With all of hang on. With all of your sorry, I turned it off. With all of your video tutorials and all your encouragement for people to make all of these amazing epic videos, Look, do you ever sit back and just go, see, I had a hand in this. I had a hand in that flaming baby doll's head because I'm teaching people how to make all these videos. So that's pretty cool, right?
Oh, look, I have absolutely loved it. That's why I'm going to continue doing the LumaFusion stuff and continue making videos on the live stream myself, because it's been amazing seeing, and I don't feel responsible, but just seeing some of the little things, because I don't show too much, really. It's not like it's a full tutorial, but it's been fantastic. And, I'm in a great position at the moment, because you focus on GarageBand but you have YML, and then there's so many of these shows popping up playing video clips, and I just get to be this conduit in the middle to just provide information. And look, it's wonderful, and I'm just so glad that people are getting stuff from it and making more professional looking stuff. It's wonderful. It does get me excited, very excited.
Yeah, it is super cool. Yeah, and like I know Joe, and when Glenn sent me her track, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, I've been playing around in LumaFusion. I've done all these things." And it's not that Joe and Barry's songs were ever not good, but like everyone's just leveling up, and every video that everyone makes, and I'm like, when I see like Darren buying a green screen and getting set up there, and then doing his recording, and the cool thing is, and if you're not a member, like we'll talk create, record, release, but look, say what you will about Facebook, and I say plenty, and I know you say plenty. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's cool. But one of the cool things is that there's some really, really good groups of people out there. So you've got the Warts group, the We All Rise Together group, and I've got the Create, Record, Release group, and there's just a bunch of really cool people there. So like we've got like 1,100 people on the Create, Record, Release group now. And throughout Songtember, one of my favorite things was that we saw people sharing their progress. So I actually saw Darren Anderson with everything set up in front of the green screen. He's like, "Yep, I'm shooting day today," and then you see the end result, and you get to kind of see behind the scenes. And I think this is what I love about music these days. And when I see some of the the bigger name artists that are releasing music now, it's like nothing. Here's my album. So like I love Ben Lee, and he's got a new album coming out, and he's got a new single that he released, and he did a video. But would I have watched the crap out of Ben Lee filming his video, recording his song, in the studio producing his album? Yes, I would. But I think that a lot of more established artists are too scared to share their process, and my music's going to get stolen, my art's going to get stolen. I love the fact that those in the home recording community now, we're all sharing everything as we go, and you get to see the progression of this sort of stuff. Do you think that the mainstream artists are ever going to change that, or is that just an ingrained thing that they've been told that no, you create the mystery and then you just release it and just hit people with it?
I don't know if it's a conscious thing that they're doing or not. I just think it's I think it's just that old school mentality. I think there are more artists who are, like you look at Ben Folds during lockdown and stuff, how he was doing gigs from his hotel room. I think there are actually more artists doing it, but we're not seeing it as much. We're not as invested in that whole commercial world of music these days. Like, how many of us actually listen to radio and listen, especially from this community? I listen to more music from just this community than anywhere else. Apart from the metal stuff, like I listen to a lot of metal. Metal? So, I like my metal. No, but it's. I think it's actually happening because clearly artists aren't making money from streaming and stuff. We all know like the big music industry's changed where it's all merchandise and touring. Because that hasn't happened. I think artists have had to start doing this stuff and share their. I don't think to the point that we are sharing our workflows, but I think there's a little bit more of it. I just don't think we see it because we're in a bubble.
It's a good point, yeah, and I think you're right. I think there is more sharing, and I'm probably not giving them credit for what they are actually sharing and that they are changing, because you're right. Like when Ben Folds was here and he was stuck in Sydney for a year plus, he just grabbed a keyboard and a webcam and like it was crap quality. I'm just like, Ben, you need to reach out. Like, talk to me, talk to Jay. We'll fix you up. Use Restream, use StreamYard. Like, get something. Get a friggin' mixer or an audio interface. You're a multi-millionaire. You own your own studio in Nashville, and yet you can't get yourself like a friggin' Zoom or a Yamaha mixer to put your live stream through with 2 channels. So, but still, it was cool because you got to see the behind the scenes of what he was doing. So, I think I'm being too harsh on these artists, and I should just ease off. I'm being very hard tonight. Question: how's Restream coming along? I I was talking to Jay before the show. I'm using StreamYard, and that's what we're using here today because I already had this show set up. Tomorrow's show will be on StreamYard as well, and then the weekend, I'm testing out Restream over the weekend, and I must say that I'm getting used to the interface. The quality is as good, if not better. The audio quality is as good, if not better, and the functionality is as good, if not better. The only thing I can't do is green screen, which I can use OBS for, and I just need to work out the OBS virtual cam. Apparently it's not that hard. I'm putting a barrier in front of myself, and I need to just get over it. But yeah, I think I'll be. Don't tell Restream yet because I haven't quite decided if I'm dumping them and gonna. So let's just say that I'm dating Restream, and I haven't told StreamYard about it yet, but it's progressing well, and it may go somewhere from here. Thank you for your question.
Did you get an email from Twitch today?
Did I get an email from Twitch today? Not that I saw. Yeah. What would they have told me? What did they tell you?
Oh, well poor old. So we had Facebook go down this week.
Oh,
and poor old Twitch today. Somebody broke into Twitch and stole their entire source code and put it out publicly. 120 gigs of their entire source code, exposing all of their big artists, how much money they make, all of their address and details. And they put an email just out tonight actually saying, make sure we've reset everybody's stream key because all your stream keys got exposed.
Okay. Well, so
massive dump.
That's
dump.
That's rough. So for the three other people apart from you that follow me on Twitch, be careful because someone may be streaming as me in the coming days because that's okay. There you go. That's a bit rough. Yeah, a lot of that sort of stuff going on at the moment, and unfortunately, there's not much you can do about it except to try and protect. Two-factor authentication, people. Two-factor authentication. Just telling you that. Andy Goldsby says, no, work for in the way. See, I'm not the only one that can't string my words together. Work for in the way. Hi, everyone. But I think we get what he means there. See, StreamYard also does this thing where it scrolls way down just randomly and suddenly. So, now I've lost most of the things.
So Miss Russ. Hi, Russ.
Yeah, there he is. Russ8889. Hello to you. We have seen Russ in there. Who else have I seen in here? We need your mirror. Have you got your mirror thing there handy, Jay? You need to do your mirror thing. I knew you would. Who else do you see? We see, we've already said hello to Cam. Deep Gravity.
Brian.
Oh, what about this guy?
Dragon Lady and Friggsy.
Yeah, there you go. Truth Hurts. Hello, music makers. Hello to you. What did Friggsy actually say? I don't share any audio. Not that I was afraid of people stealing it, but I wanted it to be a surprise for everyone. And that's cool too. Like, I actually dug that because I don't know. Did you hear Friggsy's track? His rockin' tune that he did for Songtember? Very different to a lot of the stuff that he normally does. It was kind of like me last year where I'm like, I've been listening to so much Hubs and Star that I'm going to do a slightly metal track. And Friggsy did a very rockin' track. In fact, let's see if, was it on YouTube, Friggsy? Oh, I'm going to try and find it.
It's in my list to open the show next week.
So. Oh, is it? There you go.
Yes.
That'll be cool.
Because thankfully you did the Songtember show, right?
Yeah.
So every morning when I get up, I just open that video of yours and go through your list to go get all the songs that I'm going to open each show with. You have created a wonderful playlist for me.
Oh, see, I do the hard work. See, that's right. I do the hard work so others don't have to. But Friggsy's tune here, Dirty Money, was an absolute cracker. Why don't we take a quick listen to this one here now and, turn this one up to 11 because it's a rocker. The finger dance. We're not going to even let Friggsy sing. I've got to the point now where I'm not only turning down guitar solos, I'm turning down vocals at all. No, we'll have a quick listen here. It's still intro. Did you actually sing in this, Friggsy? Like we're 45 seconds in. This is like an old school 80s rock intro.
The custodians of the taste have left the building. The sold out to the highest.
I love it. Yeah, see, we miss that. There's no 1 minute rock intros in music anymore. and I actually dig that. I know I was giving him grief, but I love that sort of intro.
Bitchy Pete today.
I know it's been a bit rough, isn't it? Whoever did I say good day to? Yeah, CRR is an amazing group. Now that I've completely given Friggsy grief, he's just like, oh Pete, I was just being nice to you, and then you completely trashed my song. What's Twitch? Don't worry, it's coming to Queensland in about 2027. They're going to
coming
release
to Toowoomba in 2052.
Jesus. Not going well. Hello to Brian Katarin. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're tolerating our stuff here. Good question here from Russ. In fact, Russ, this is a great question. It's almost like I just lobbed it up there for you to smash
Did you
it.
pay him to do that?
I did, actually. No, he paid me, which is weird. Are you going to do a part 2 of your course, a bit more advanced for electronic music? Yeah, so I am. I am actually. In fact, the folks from Retrieve reached out to me today, and they're like, Johns, if you don't do another course soon, we're going to totally pull the plug on you because being slack. So, I'm going to put that together hopefully next week over on Patreon. So that'll be like a double. There you go. That's double incentive. Come and join me on Patreon and pay me money there so that you can learn how I'm going to make you pay me money to buy another course.
Next you'll be telling Patrons to make their own videos and sending them in.
Never. I'd never do that. Oh, jeez. Did you see that Eddie Goldsby ran the London Marathon just quietly?
Oh,
like, he's
man,
just
what a
on the
legend.
side.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he releases a Songtember song, and he sends me this email, and he's just like, well, John, see, here's the thing. I had to get my Songtember song done in the first week because... You know how it is when you have to run the London Marathon. I got to get back to work, to the real work. Like, you can have your little Songtember thing. I'll be off running a marathon. I was like,
Unbelievable.
It was
Great
the
job,
coolest
Andy.
thing ever.
You crushed it.
In all honesty, and I know Andy will know that I'm saying that I come from a place of love, but gee, only because I can't run a marathon. Sheesh. I can't. I struggle to run to the fridge. If I had to run to the fridge to get another beer,
I've
I'd be
seen
puffed
you
out.
run
by
to
the
the
time I get
fridge.
You have actually. You brought those Chang beers. They were tasty. I'm going to have to go buy some more of them. Clay Farris, hello to you. I hope you are doing well. Haven't seen you around the place for a while. Where are we at? The circle of life. Yeah, things go. We've caught up. We're right down to the bottom. Yes, yes. Can we get it? Can we get some carrots or some claps in the chat for Andy for an amazing effort? And I know he's a bit too humble to come in here and just tell us that that's what he did. But there you go. Nice. Woot. I like it. Good stuff. Hello to Sarah. You might recognise the surname there. I don't think I've ever seen the better half of the GarageBand Guide in the chat here. I feel she's doing the royal wave because she's royalty after all. She's the queen of the GarageBand Guide castle. Very, very cool stuff. We should get on and talk about, because we're 42 minutes in and we've covered one topic.
Create.
What about recording? What was your recording experience like? Because you did a lot of it on your channel. You did a lot of Songtember live streams where you recorded live, and we all got to watch you do 17 takes of the same part over and over again. No, it wasn't actually like that.
Bad.
You crushed through it. I must admit, I was pretty impressed with the speed. And I know you were creating grindcore, and you would just say, "Oh, they're only 1 minute songs." But again, you created 7 songs in the month, and you got it all done, and you got them all out there. So, what was your experience like, and how did you find the process of recording? And you're back in GarageBand, I guess, back to your not your roots, but back to something a bit more simple than what perhaps you'd normally use. What was the experience like?
Well, it was a little bit. So it was good to be back in GarageBand, but it was a little bit hard because I was using a different drum technique. So I was using Digi6 too, so that was new, and I was taking samples from my sample pack, putting them in and doing it that way. The recording process was really easy. It was the mixing and mastering which I didn't show, which was a pain. And there was a reason I didn't show it, because I was under a lot of stress just with stuff that was going on here. And I was having a lot of trouble with tone bridge, an audio unit extension not loading. And because it had so many audio, it had like maybe up to 5 instances of tone bridge. And in GarageBand, it tends to crash every now and again. So every time you shut the project to do a mix and then come back to do another mix, it would have crashed. So you have to close down GarageBand and reboot. So it was super frustrating. So I decided not to do any of it on the show. But look, the recording process was easy. I had a clubhouse to hang out and friends help me write lyrics. Joe Glenn wrote a classic lyric in one of the songs, and I get one swear word. Shit in a bag and punch it. That was Joe Glenn's contribution to the FMC track. But yeah, look, it was fun doing the shows. It was, because I love my grindcore and I knew exactly what I was doing. I've been planning the EP for a while, so it was pretty straightforward. GarageBand didn't act up or anything like that, except for Tone Bridge, which was a pain.
I guess you get what you pay for, don't you, sometimes? Tone Bridge, it's free and it's awesome 90% of the time.
Pay for it. In fact, I gave away 100 copies on my show.
Yes. And did you give away 1,000 copies of GarageBand on the same show?
Yeah. I'm always giving away free stuff.
Matthew said he had the same thing with Tone Bridge. Yeah, and again,
We're all having it.
It is. And again, you were wise enough, though, to stay on 14.8, I'm assuming, throughout your recording process through Songtember and not update to 15, because, we've heard from a few people that have had some less than ideal experiences updating from iOS 14.8 to 15. I think it's pretty safe now. What have I heard? I've heard some people with Core Gadget, so some of the gadgets don't like iOS 15 in Core Gadget, and we've still got issues with the Focusrite Scarlett interfaces. But I did post on the Create Record release because a heap of people have been emailing me, and someone actually went through the whole Focusrite support area, and apparently there's a thing you can do where you plug it in, you unplug it, you hold down the 48-volt switch for 10 seconds, you plug it back in, you unplug it. There's like 5 steps, and it changes it from its like mass storage device mode back to its USB audio interface mode. So if you've got a Focusrite Scarlett interface, and if it's not working, and I'm probably only talking to like one person out there, go over to the Create Record Release group or go to your Focusrite manual, because apparently it's there in the manual in like Appendix 14B or something, and you can go and find how to do it. But who reads the manuals? It's like terms of service. Does anyone actually read those things? I don't know. Ashley is updated from 14 to 15. Good luck. Godspeed.
I won't update till probably December. I only wait till the end of the year, and just all the bugs are out, and because you got to remember there's so many other apps that people probably haven't opened yet, and if it's a crucial one, last year, remember, it was the Final Touch. Final Touch was the one. It was all of the bias effects apps. Just always play it careful. Wait.
Yes, yep. And John says, have the Focusrite Scarlett Solo didn't upgrade. Yeah, don't do it. Not yet. You don't have. To be honest, there's 0 in iOS 15 or iPadOS 15 that I've used yet, and I've got it on 2 of my devices, and all it does is just pops up occasionally and has that weird like app library thing. And I didn't use that in 14, and I'm not using it in 15, so I wouldn't worry about it for now. Clay says that Tone Bridge for GNR patients alone is worth the price. Very cool. I haven't tried that, but yeah, if you're not familiar with Tone Bridge, by the way, some people out there might be thinking, what's this Tone Bridge thing all about? It's basically a guitar amp simulator that you can actually throw on just any guitar tone. You can just go in there and search. And it might have been Clay. Clay, was it you that we were on a live call and we were chatting about it, and I showed you Tone Bridge, and I just showed you all the ways that you could do these, and I'm like, here's Nirvana, here's Pearl Jam, here's Green Day, and it just dials in the tones, and you don't have to touch a thing. It's super cool if you want to try and replicate tones from your favorite bands. And you've even looked for some pretty obscure like metal bands and things in there, Jade, and found some cool stuff.
Yeah. And to answer John's other question about Tone Bridge, they are still actively developing it. If you go back and watch, I think it's my first or second show I did on Tone Bridge. It's one of them. The actual developer came into the chat on that show and was saying that he's not the actual developer. So it's the guy who makes that guitar app. What is it? The tablature app.
Ultimate Guitar.
Ultimate Guitar. So it's the same maker from that app, but the guy who's looking after Tone Bridge now is somebody else, and it was handed over to him. So he's still doing it, but it's not frequent. But so hopefully they do an update for iOS 15 at some stage and just touch it up a little bit. But it's a wonderful app. And, if you on my channel, if you go through my guitar playlist, I've tried every single guitar tone app, and I've even got one that's in beta at the moment called Rhino, which is pretty damn impressive as well. Made by the people who made Mammoth Bass, which that's coming out really soon. It's pretty sick. It's pretty gnarly. But still, I don't know how much that's going to cost and if it's a competitor.
Let's quickly check Jade's search optimization here. If we come to our playlist, how to app on iOS. There's all your seasons there. Do we have your guitar playlist?
If you hit the arrow see the arrow at the end?
Oh yeah, over here.
Yeah. See.
Okay. So there's all your seasons. You got string, you got vocals. Oh, I think you need guitars up front and center here.
Yeah.
Because
got
it's fallen off. It's somewhere there. I reckon if you search, I tried searching Jade's. If you search Tonebridge, if you want to learn more about Tonebridge, I think you did a whole friggin' video on it, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I've done
Tonebridge.
like 3.
There you go. Look at that. Don't look at that guy. That guy's a tool. Look at him holding his guitar. Oh, look at my guitar. I'm looking at it.
Is that how you hold a guitar? Holy hell. I've been doing it wrong.
That's why my track sounds so horrible when I play
Paul
guitar.
McCartney wants his guitar stands back, Pete. I want to hold your hand.
But yes, you did. Oh look, your exploring Tonebridge on iOS has 666 views from a year ago. That's awesome.
Thank you. How metal is that?
So I'm gonna copy this and paste it here in the chat if you're watching live. If you're not, just go and search Jade Star Tonebridge on your YouTube.
You're making 667. No, don't do that.
Someone's gonna watch it just to annoy you. Someone's gonna watch it right now, and it won't be cool. Oh look, Glenn Fricker beat you to it. See, Glenn's about the only one that could probably sound as swear as much and sound as frustrated as Jade. So I think you and Glenn Fricker need to do a collaboration one day.
It's not out yet, so I don't know why he's looking at the beta yet. Because there's some big issues with it. They're releasing a new update in the next week or so. Because there's still some issues with Rhino. So
yeah, well there you
it's
go.
been in beta for like a month and a half, nearly 2 months. It's crazy.
He's jumped the gun. He's gone straight into it. Breach. What are those things that they give you that you can't do things before certain things that the Apple people?
Or maybe it's the
do?
PC one. The PC one. Could be out.
He'd be on the desktop because he's a desktop dude. He's a Reaper guy. I didn't know that because I only watched Glenn Fricker for the ranting and the swearing, and then he's just like, yeah. So here's why Reaper's cool. I'm like, oh, you're a Reaper guy. That makes sense. All right, we need to pick one. We got. Do you like stories? Because Thomas Galen's here. Do you like stories? Hello, Thomas. You like stories? That's so weird. Releasing. So that's the last thing we're going to talk about here. We've got about 10 minutes left, by the way, folks. If you do have questions, especially for Jade, if you've got really tough questions for Jade, if you can throw them in the chat. But releasing. So let's just get it out of the way. You and I are both in love with DistroKid. If they were here right now, we'd probably snog them because we just think that they're so cool and they do really good things. So you released your EP. It's out there everywhere now. What was your release experience like this time around?
Well, I was running really close to the bone, and I wanted to test out setting a release date, and I knew it was only 3 days I had, and it's like it says clearly, don't do this unless it's 5 days, and I was like, yeah, but I've got a priority account, so I wonder how that's going to work. So I thought I would push the limit, and I set a release date for October 1st, and it was like October 29, I think, and it came out. And it was on. It wasn't on Spotify when it dropped, unfortunately. And because it was all adult. So here's the thing: because it was all adult content, you have to put explicit lyrics on every song. And then when it came out on Spotify, 3 of the first 3 songs were grayed out. I'm like, what's going on? So I had to send an email to DistroKid, and thank you to DistroKid because they were on it like a fly on crap. And they said when it went to the store, there was an error processing it. And the explicit lyrics for the first 3 songs didn't transfer through. So they had it fixed, within 12 hours. It was sorted out and all fixed. So DistroKid, on it, man. They were cool.
Yeah. And look, it's not that this is a DistroKid ad and this is not a DistroKid sponsored video, but you and I both have done videos that are sponsored by DistroKid. They sponsor my Your Music live show every week, so full disclosure on that one. But everyone I talk to just raves about the experience that they have with them, and when stuff doesn't go right, I know Gary Hubbs had some problems getting his YouTube channel, and DistroKid, it wasn't their fault, but it's still eventually, perhaps with the help of a little birdie, jumped in and fixed it up. But Yeah, like everyone, and as Derek Smith is saying here, like his song was in all main stores in 18 hours. So, and that's not unusual. So it's usually around 20. If you just say release it as soon as you can, it's like out there. And what he said there, it was in YouTube Music in 3 minutes. So yeah, the connection between DistroKid and places like Spotify and Google and YouTube and Apple is pretty amazing. And if everything goes to plan, it's all totally fine.
Yeah, they've sped up the process for a bit. Last year we got really backlogged, but that's because of what was going on last year. And it seems like since all that, they've really tightened up the ship and things are coming out really quick. Because I know, like normally, if I normally release something, it's 8 hours and it's dropped everywhere. It's really good.
It is crazy, yeah. If you release something between about April and July 2020, you may have not had the perfect experience, because I know, especially for new artists, and it wasn't all DistroKid, because remember, there's bottlenecks everywhere. So DistroKid, they're the middleman. They are the distributors. So they grab and if you don't know what we're talking about, by the way, DistroKid are a distributor. So if you're releasing music, what you do is you upload your audio, your thumbnail, you tell it the title, the album name, your artist name, all of your metadata. And then they grab all that and they send it off to all the different places. There you are. You can have a look at Jade's amazing DistroKid view there. So that's all the stuff that you can do there, and you can get it out to all those different places. Look at all those icons, so many places. And all you need to do is go in there, upload, send it off to all these places, upload your album art, give it all the information, and then it sends it to the stores. But the problem that we were having back in 2020 was that it was getting to those stores, and then they had a giant backlog. So everyone was recording in their home studio and everyone was releasing music because everyone was in lockdown. So it just meant that there was about, I think at one stage I was talking to them, it was something like 5 times as much music as the previous month during those few months, which is insane. Like if you imagine your job, imagine if your boss just walks in and just pops a pile 5 times as much workload as you normally have, because places like Spotify and Apple Music, a lot of it's automated, but a lot of it gets flagged and they have to go in and they have to fix things up, or they have to do random checks to make sure people aren't putting in duplicate songs. So it can be a challenge, but it is a great service. And again, we're not sponsored by them for this show, but we've both used them for many years before we were even sponsored by DistroKid. And it's one of those companies where you can just hand on heart say they look after you and they do the right thing.
And you can hand on heart say, send me a t-shirt.
I'm not even. I was going to say, if I look down and I'm wearing my DistroKid hoodie, I'll feel like a giant shill right now. But I'm wearing my own merch, so it's okay. It's okay. What you're talking about, the release date there. So if you're thinking about that, speaking of releasing, I got the same thing. So even though I released mine a week before then, it basically says this: every time you set your release date too close, it says, look, do 4 weeks if you can. And the main reason you want to do 4 weeks is to be able to put it onto playlists, to promote it, to get it out there, to talk about it, to do all the good things. But again, you don't always have to give it that much time. But if you want to, you can. So for me, I didn't cut it quite as fine as you, Jay, but I did definitely cut it too fine, according to their release guidelines. But it's out there. So it is cool. As Dragon Lady says, DistroKid sounds cool. Just need to write something worthy for it. Working on it. And that's cool. We're all just a work in progress. Someone said that one time. So just keep working it. Keep working it. And Russ is still waiting. Be waiting for an app all year from DistroKid. Yes, that is the one thing. And I can promise you that every time I talk to the wonderful folks at DistroKid, I'm like, how's that mobile app coming along? And they're probably sick of hearing from me.
You've been promised it. It's in the works. It's coming. But look, the good news is that they have made the website across the app, across your iPhones and your iPad and the browser, it's using the same HTML5 code. So it can't be that far off, because I'm sure they're just going to use a shell. I think what the struggle is just making sure they have the servers for the app that don't overload. I think they're just being really careful, because there's going to be nothing worse than if the app comes out and then everybody just jumps on it at one go and then crashes the whole server for the mobile device. So I think that's what they're doing. Just playing it safe.
A couple of additional points here. You're spot on. Greg says, yes, if you are on it's a really good point. If you're on the musician plan, so we talk about the fact that it is from $19.99. So you can't set a release date. One of the benefits of the Musician Plus plan, which I have and I know you have, which starts at $35.99 a year. You've got the label. You're spending like $79 a year. But for $35.99, you get the ability to set your prices, to set your own label name, to set your release date, and to have two different artists, among other things like synced lyrics and other cool things. So Gregory is actually 100% correct, and we should, full disclosure, say that if you do want to set a release date, if you want to really focus on promoting your music, you will need the Musician Plus plan, because that's what will let you set a future date. Otherwise, they just get it out there as quick as you can, which is fine. To be honest, I did that for the first 2 years with DistroKid. I just had the musician plan, and I just said, chuck it out there. Get it out there as quick as you can, DistroKid, and we'll be fine with that. And the other thing is, as Friggsy says here, for those, especially outside of the US, make sure you've updated your financial information. You do need to give them things like your tax file number here in Australia, and set your withholding tax declaration, because... I love it when I'm talking about serious financial issues and I just see like smoke, just see vape pouring out your nose. But yeah, you do need to set that, because if you don't provide that, I've seen a heap of videos from people just saying, DistroKid stole 30% of my money. And yeah, I have to remind folks that they didn't. That's the US tax law, and we have tax treaties in different countries. And yes, as boring as tax talk is, you do need to do what Friggsy says and update your tax info. You're having some Werther's original over there, Jade.
Gummy. Oh, look, they're transparent.
They're see-through
sour,
gummy worms.
Sour gummies.
Well, we've lost Jade's attention. She's just like, thanks, John. I've had enough of you. I'm going to eat sugar now.
No.
All right.
I'm going to pull stupid faces. Hey, John asked as well who we use to do merch.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I'd missed that
Teespring.
question. Yes, Teespring is it. Teespring.com. And I don't think they even have an affiliate, so I don't think either of us can try and shill for them or anything. But anyone can use Teespring, and as Jade's showing there, you can go to her merch store. If I jump over here, I will make you full screen. There is all of Jade's stuff. Don't look too close at any of that gear.
Yeah, remember, folks, you can get FMC pillows. FMC pillows, they're all the rage.
Apparently, yeah, everyone's buying them. Buy one for your nana for Christmas. Get in early.
I've sold 2 pillows. Someone's getting an FMC pillow.
Or if you want some more serious merchandise, you can go to studiolivetoday.com/merch and get your
highbrow,
your serious Sharon is Karen t-shirt.
Yeah. Put that on a pillow.
Right. But yes, so we have all of the merchandise. But yeah, Teespring are cool. And a lot of folks still don't know this. It's weird. I was chatting to folks about YouTube today, and they were talking about different revenue streams and things. And look, to be honest, I think I've made maybe $200 in merchandise in the entire time I've been selling, which is about 3 years. So I'm not going to retire on merchandise sales, but anyone can do it because it's a print on demand structure now. So if you think of the days where if you're a band and you had to buy 50 T-shirts, we need 12 XLs. Actually, no, band fans. So you only need small and extra large because they're either... Anyway, but yeah, you buy all the T-shirts and then you have boxes and store them and then you have to sell them and then you have to cart them around in the boot of your car. These days, you can put any design on anything, like pillows, and then you can just sell them to anyone. And they don't print them. They don't exist until someone actually buys one. And then they print it on demand, they ship it out to the person, and all that happens is you get the difference between the wholesale cost, the processing and handling, and the shipping, and then whatever the profits left over is what you get. So anyone can set up their own Teespring account. We sound like shill. We sound like we're advertising for people here today, but it really is easy.
I was going to remind you too, I shilled for somebody else a couple of weeks ago, and they shilled back to me today.
Thank you for reminding me, because that was the last... I was about to say, where can folks go to check out the wonderful Jade Star and what you've got going on? And you know where they can go to check out Jade Star? You can go to the front page of IK Multimedia. Now, if you don't know IK Multimedia, they make all the iRig products, they make all the Amplitude products, a whole bunch of software and hardware, including the brand new Sampletron for iPad. And do you know who the first person that they featured that reviewed Sampletron 2 for iPad? Yes, it's the one and only Jade Star. There it is, right here. And Jade was on the front page before. You've been knocked down to number
bumped.
2, Jade.
They've
been bumped because apparently they've got new effects pedals. But
absolutely
no, you are number 2 there. So you can go here and check this one out, and that would be a good place to go.
They
and look at that quote.
Me.
This thing
All
is
the
a
way through.
beast. It's a
Yeah.
winner. Yeah.
They mass quoted me all the way through. I'm so thankful to IK Multimedia because they've supported my channel heaps. They make such good stuff. So, they've sent me like, an iRig Pro and I'm more than happy to shill for them, even though they didn't pay me anything to say good stuff about it. All the stuff I said, I genuinely think it's one of those apps. It's $70. It's a hard sell. But as I said, and they quoted me, if you just scroll up a little bit there, just up a little bit. Yeah, so just there. It says at the end, I can't see because there are cheaper alternatives. I can't see it because it's the camera.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, is that there? There you go.
No, you're in the right place.
Oh, was
You're in the right place. Just my camera's in front of it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff
There
in
you
here.
go, right there.
There's some real pluses.
There are
That sounds
cheaper
incredible.
alternatives. There are cheaper alternatives. This is made for people who want to invest in something that you're going to use a lot. Because there's a lot of people who complain that things are like $70. And it's like, you know what? If you're not going to use it, clearly it's not worth $70 to you. So, but if it's something that you're going to use, which I think there are a lot of people that will get a lot of use out of it for specific things, it's killer. And, I think a lot of people forget with apps because I'm just going to go on a quick rant here, Pete. Apps aren't Pokemon. You don't need every single one of them. You know what I mean? So if they cost too much and you don't need it, don't buy it. Don't keep it on your iPad or your iPhone. Don't waste your time. Only buy the things that are going to make your music rock. It's really important because I see a lot of people bitching and complaining. It costs this, it costs that. It costs money because it takes time to make these things as good as they are. And, we have it good. We have it so good. We have amazing apps that are released every day. And sometimes they cost a little bit more. But if it's out of your wheelhouse, forget it. Find something cheaper because there probably is something cheaper. But, yeah, I'm so thankful to IK Multimedia for doing that. It made my day.
Yeah, look, they are good people, and I know that you probably get some of these, Jade. I get a lot of people that come to me with offers of various things all the time. Usually it's what's in it for them. IK Multimedia, I can honestly, again, hand on heart say, because they're not a sponsor of the channel at the moment. IK Multimedia, call it, happy to sponsor this show. We'd have you on board. But they have sent me free stuff before, and they've sent me plugins. I've got Sampletron as well, which I'm about to check out. So they are truly, and they're not people that will say, oh, we'll give you this for free as long as you do this. Like, not once have they ever said to me, you must say good things about us, you must give us a positive review. To the point where I've said, yeah, you can send me the thing and I'll try it out. And if I like it, I'll review it. If I don't, I won't. And they're like, totally cool. Whereas a lot of companies are very much into what's in it for them. So they'll be very protective and they'll basically make you promise and guarantee that you'll only say nice things about their products and their apps before they'll send them to you, which is not cool. Whereas IK Multimedia, every time I've had contact with them, and sounds like your experience is the same, they've always been cool. They're like, yeah, here it is. Check it out. If you dig it, you dig it. If you don't, you don't. No harm, no foul, which is pretty cool.
Well, you can vouch for this, Pete, because, and I can't hide it, back when I started the show, I wasn't a fan. Remember, I slagged them public. I actually said I disliked all IK Multimedia hardware because I felt like at the time, and this was my experience from back, because I've been using iOS since 2012 pretty much to make music. I felt that they had cornered the market and made very specific items to shut people out of it. But over time, I think that their hardware, especially, their software's always been good.
Yeah,
they've really improved their hardware. They've really made it much higher quality. And, I think they've had to because you've got so many other companies now that are class compliant. So they turned me around completely, I have to say. And I agree. They haven't paid me a thing. Sure, they've sent me some gear. But do I use the hell out of it? Oh, yeah, every day. So it's good stuff.
No, 100%. And I think we had this discussion at the time. I got my first iRig, which was the iRig Pro IO, and you said to me, don't do it. It's not going to be good. And I'm like, look, I just have to try it because enough people had said to me, hey, I like this thing. Can you check it out? That I bought one. And I got it in and I'm just like, Jade, it's actually pretty impressive. Like I recorded guitars, I recorded vocals, and it all sounded good. And yeah, and then when I got the duo and tried it out, I think I tried it out on like one show, and then just like, I got to get me a duo. And then you got one too, and it's
And
like,
now
how good is it?
I'm
Hey!
using one too. There it is. Oh, my poor old Steinberg's just sitting there going, remember me?
My Steinberg's over. No, it's not. My Steinberg's here, connected to nothing. So, which is
Mine's
sad.
going to the Mac. It's going to the Mac tomorrow.
Mine's going to go to the Mac eventually. My Focusrite's on the Mac at the moment, but my Steinberg will go to the Mac. Like, by the way, how much like wankers do we sound? It's like, which audio interface shall I connect to which device today? But yeah, but we do it for you. We do it so we can say to you, because you know what? If you buy a Focusrite Scarlett or an iRig Pro Duo or a Steinberg UI22, you're going to be fine. That's the thing. People spend a lot of time worrying and stressing about what should I buy? Should I buy this or this or this or this? They're all good. If you buy as long as you don't buy the cheapest stuff, Behringer, as long as you don't buy the cheapest stuff, you're going to get good quality gear, and it's going to sound good, and it's going to help your recording. So,
Because
yeah,
it's all ones and zeros, folks, as some dude once told me.
Right, it's all digital. As long as you got good quality mic preamps and it converts it into digital and sends it to your stuff, then you're golden. So, yeah, and we've got some folks saying the original iRig was. It was functional. Oh, that's probably the nicest way I'll say that. It worked. For the time where you couldn't connect a guitar to an iPhone or an iPad, and then you could because you had an iRig. But you know what? Using the headphone jack and plugging in through an analog device was hacky. It really didn't work the way you wanted it to. If you tried to distort it, it would just turn into a crunchy mess. So thank goodness that they created the Pro and the HD series, which sound awesome. And yeah, if you want a good audio interface, go and get one. Don't know how we went from create and record and release to let's shill companies for the next 2 hours. But we are going to have to finish up there. Now, apart from going over to, of course, the official IK Multimedia website and taking a look at the wonderful review there, where else can folks go to check out you and your daily shows that you do over on How to App?
You can come over to How to App on iOS.com and you can watch the show daily in the browser and all the playlists there, all my merch, all that stuff, everything's there. Or you can head over to the Facebook group, which is We All Rise Together, and my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Jade Star. Simple.
Good. That's very, very simple. And if all that sounded too confusing, jadestar.com.au. Say it together, folks. And she doesn't whack her microphone stand anywhere near as often as she has in the last sort of 20 minutes. Dong. Thank you everyone for being here. It's been very cool. It is late. Well, I know it's past 10 o'clock for you. You're going to turn into a pumpkin. And I do too, because guess what? I have to go and get my beauty sleep because in just 9 hours time, we're going to come back and we're going to do it all over again. So for those who are here in Australia, I am.
I got tomorrow off.
Jade's taking tomorrow off, and we're doing YML a day early. So I'm all set up. I'm all ready to go. We've got a heap of cool tunes to play. So do join us live here on this same bat time. Well, no, different bat time. Same bat channel, though, which is going to be at, now I've got to get the times right, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and 7 a.m. for the lucky folks on the east coast of Australia. Yeah, so Jade's gone to bed. She's already gone. She's like, nah, too early. So you can join me then for Your Music Live, where we'll be playing 2 hours of your music, and we do it live, hence the name. That is going to do it for this one. Hello to Samantha Edge, who's just dropped in time to say goodbye.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam. Bye, Sam. Thanks, everyone, for being here. As we say at the end of every show, please be kind to yourselves, be kind to others. Happy Songtember. We'll do it all again in 11 months' time. Don't worry if you missed out. And keep creating, folks. Bye for now.